I'm calling for it.
Melanated family, we back. This is your brother Harrison, man, back for a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast.
What's up, y'all?
And of course, my resident guest, my homeboy, my road dog since 7th grade, JB's in the house. JB, how you doing, family?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm better being back on the platform, man. It's nice to be here with you and my brother.
There we go. So, what we gonna discuss today? Because Wednesday I'll be back with my sister Sonia Williams Lewis. We're gonna continue to do our thing. But today, you know what I mean, doing kind of a late show, but I wanted to discuss something with the family, right? I wanted to discuss some of the things I've been dealing with lately and how this pertains to fatherhood. So yesterday was like a monumental moment in my family. So not only did I have a family reunion Sunday yesterday, like my family turned out, I made shirts for the full event. Like we had a great time as a family, right? And I was appreciative that I was able to be around all these people that I grew up with. But one of the most important parts of me being around them yesterday was the fact that my children was there. Like all 5 of my sons was at the event. All 6 of my grandkids was at the event. And, you know, on this platform, I talk a lot about my kids. I talk about a lot about them being like the antithesis for what you see now. Melanated anything, melanated combo, melanated fathers of America. All of this shit was created because of the experiences I had with my children and their moms. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yesterday was monumental, JB, because all 5 sons was there. Let me tell you why it was monumental, though. Because the title of the show is From Boys to Men.
Boys to Men.
Creating a bond with adult children. This is something I had to learn how to do. So before we get into it real quick, if you need shirts, these shirts you're looking at, these Melanated State of Mind shirts, on my website, precisioncreate.com is the website. On this website,
precisioncreate.com.
You can purchase these shirts. I got 3 or 4 other designs, dope designs, support a Black business. If you got a business, got a hobby, a birthday party, something coming up where you need a shirt customized, holla at your boy. Yep. Go to the website. It has all the information you need about the pricing and the structure of what I do so I can customize your shirt for you. That was kind of a bar.
We will customize your shirt for you.
Yeah.
We will ship it. We will bring it to you in Sacramento. Holler at us. Precision Design.
Precision Design Studio is the name of the business. PrecisionCreate.com. PrecisionCreate.com is the website. If you want a shirt, if you want me to customize something for you, go to the shirt.
Go there. Order from there, y'all. Come holler at us there.
Exactly. So why yesterday was so important, family, is because I had all my kids in one room, right? But here's the caveat. Like, even though I started this show, even though I've been on this mission for a long period of time, I had a problem with 2 of my children. Like 2 of my children that I helped raise, we didn't talk. Like I had an issue with their mom that spilled over into something involving them. And then as young men, they began to express to me, well, wait a minute, Pops, there's some things you did when we were younger that I don't agree with. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And my ego, my pride didn't allow me to handle those things correctly. So today, what we're going to get into is how to prevent that. Yeah. Like how to maneuver in a way where your kids become adults and they still respect you.
Exactly.
You still got their ear. Mm-hmm. You can still give them tutelage and guidance, and they gon' even how, you know, sometimes kids don't listen, but they gonna hear it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So here's some of the things that I've kind of created to kind of pinpoint how we can fix some of that. You feel me? So one of the things I would tell all fathers, please tune in. Any father you know, young father, old father, let's get into it because our presence is essential. You feel me? So the early childhood part is extremely important, JB.
Absolutely.
Like when your kids are younger, and we say, because look, if you are in a relationship with the woman and you in the house, some of this can go a little bit differently, right? Because you're right there the whole time. Right. So let's talk about what if you're not in the house, right? Yeah. How do you go ahead, JB?
Real quick. You said early childhood is important.
Yes.
Brothers out there, let me tell you about the earliest of childhoods. So when your baby's born, right, at the hospital, if you're fortunate enough to be there with that child, and you and the mother, whatever, you're cool or whatever, that baby right there. Take your shirt off as a father.
Oh,
hold your
I
child.
I heard about
and
that.
hold that child close to your heart. I have 3 children. I did this with one of my children. And me and her have this bond that I really can't explain outside of the other 2. And I know it's because of what the nurse told me to do with taking my shirt off and holding her next to my chest with no shirt on as she was just born. And that really did something for our relationship. So I will tell every young father, please, if you have an opportunity, hold your young children close to your heart when they're first born. That will do something for you as it's born.
And I heard that just, and I don't know if this is true, y'all, but what he's saying is some real shit because I've seen it and read it a lot of times.
It's true, y'all.
The skin to skin connection,
skin to skin connection,
right? With a young baby,
come on,
does a lot for the overall connection they have with the individual, mom, dad. But as a dad, they tell you, take your shirt off.
Yes,
that's some real shit right there.
That's some real
but
stuff.
Going further than that, the early childhood, JB. So when your kids are born, they small, and again, we saying it as if, excuse me, because if you're in the house with your kids, this makes life easier. Whether you work or not, coming home every day and being around your kids, that's a grind, but you have every day to do it because they're right there. But what if your kids ain't in the house? What if you're having problems with your baby mama? You see what I'm saying? So you have to install a level of trust in your children. The trust you install when they're 4, 5, 6, this shit will carry over to when they're adults or when they're young men, right? So the trust you establish, how do you establish trust? How often do you see your kids? Fathers need to be fully aware of this, family. How often do you see your kids?
And if you're not, if you don't see them in your personal form with looking in their eyes or holding them, try to FaceTime them with these great phones we have nowadays. Find a song or something that you sing to them that's just yours, that personalize that phone call.
Something that can personalize.
Personalize that phone call for these little kids that really connects you to them. Because the very important thing, and another thing I would like to say is, Black fathers, I appreciate y'all. We are some of the best fathers on the planet. It's just known to be that fact. We're given the opportunity to take care of our families and take care of our children. We are exceptional at it. We exceed expectations. And sometimes you and the mother don't work out. But what you can't let not work out is you and that kid's relationship. That's
exactly the point I was making, JB. So you instill that trust. So when they're younger, and I know how it feels to be a young man who you possibly don't have all your shit together. Right. You don't have the money you think you should have.
Right.
Your home life ain't what it should be. Maybe you got to live with somebody. Maybe your structure ain't what it should be, but you got to find that because kids need structure, family. So you got to bring your kids into your care. Wherever you're living, make it comfortable. You got to bring your kids wherever you are so they can see how you live. And that's where you teach. Fathers, hear me. If you're the kind of dude that only see your kid at his mom's house, or you only see the kid because you're bringing them to the park or talking to him on the phone, every type of connection is valuable. But what a kid needs is structure and tutelage in the most comfortable place to provide that shit. It's inside of the home. So you got to bring your kids to your home. You got to show them how you brush your teeth in the morning. You got to show them how you clean your room in the morning. Do you cook? Do you clean up? How much TV to watch? This can only be fortified if you're in the house with them. Right.
True. He's so right about that. But any fathers that are displaced away from their children, the best thing I can recommend, I would say phone calls, letters, try to fly them out as much as you can. But I would say the phone calls, that voice on the phone, knowing that there's a certain time of the day they're going to be hearing from you. So
that's still consistent. That's still saying my dad's going to call at 5.
At this time,
I can rely on that. Because what you don't want to do is be the kind of father who say, I'm coming to get you on Saturday and they outside sitting there and your motherfucking ass don't show up.
And think about how you felt when it happened to you.
You see what I'm saying?
If that did.
You see what I'm saying? So creating the structure. I'm going to come get you every weekend. I'm going to come get you every week, Wednesday. Whatever the structure is you can muster in your life, because everybody's different, you got to do that, family.
And as you stick to that structure, it will grow in a positive way. But you have to stick to that structure and be a disciple of that structure.
There you go.
Discipline, right?
There you go. Same word. Right. And then when you talk about the structure, then it got to be quality time. Hear me when I say this. I had 4 kids by the age of 22. So I would, which was a good thing, I brought them all together. 4 kids, 2 different women. Whenever I got my kids, I brought them all together and we did everything together. hear me when I say this, kids need quality personal time though. You got to take each kid got to feel special. The worst thing you can have is children who don't feel like they get enough attention. Oh,
because
come on now.
These children are going to try to find that from somewhere. It's the effect of you're not looking at me, so I'm gonna find somebody to look at me.
I'm gonna find somebody to look at me.
So, and then the people that do that, the people that are looking for people to look at like that, who are searching, these are the kind of people a lot of times we don't want our kids around.
Predator. Then they become more susceptible to predatorism. Because you're not paying them no attention. And I get it.
Predatory behaviors will start to happen in their lives more and more once the doors open.
Yeah. And young children, they want attention. They want to play. They got a lot of energy. We got to condition ourselves to be with that. So whatever was happening at work, you got to let that shit go. Whatever was happening with the mama, you got to let that shit go. And you got to be able to give a child your undivided attention. I don't care if the TV's on, if food is cooking. What you want to do? Let me look you in your face and me and you do it.
Unplug completely.
Because if you don't do that, like JB said, they'll find that shit elsewhere. So as a young child, these are all the things you should focus on because something I did do right. I would always think, I don't want an adult child that don't like me. I don't want an adult child that I come back to and say, look, I was working. I didn't have my shit together. These are all the reasons I wasn't in your life. And I'm going to be honest, fellas, none of those are good reasons, family. Because where there's a will, there's a way. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have that will. So as a young child, you got to foster all these things into your kid. And this is something I learned because like I was getting to, I had a situation with two of my children when we didn't speak for a while. And this was based on ego. This was based on having conversations with them as young men, and I got a mouth on me, y'all. I can be disrespectful at times.
Ego will kill the host.
Come on now.
Ego will kill the host.
Yeah.
So check your egos as fathers.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, because sometimes these kids talk to us greasy, or they say something real out of pocket. We know we working hard and trying for them, trying to check on them, call them, send them stuff on Cashapp, and then they call us and say that ain't enough, or text us and say some real nasty stuff or whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my friends, we all dealing with certain situations on different levels.
Yeah, it's different.
You know, but the main thing is making sure we have to keep our relationship with these kids. We can't let them scare us off.
Yeah.
Based off of anything they feel.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
We got them here.
And we'll get to that because what JB is speaking to a little bit is the fact that because me and my partners, I got four partners. We've been cool since we've been kids. Most of us have situations where the kid is in the city we live in. So we can go get them. We can talk to them, then go get them. They're right there with us. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My brother has dealt with situations where the kids are in a different state. Mm-hmm. They're not around. So we're going to get to that in a minute. And JB, I'm going to have you discuss some of the things you've tried to do to mend a relationship when the kid is in a different state. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
It's ongoing, it's continuous.
Very continuous. So talking about the young kids, so you instill trust, you create structure, you do quality time, and something else I want to tell all my fathers, which is extremely important. You got to give them a voice. Let me tell you what I mean by give them a voice. When my children were younger, I was such a dictator. So if someone asked them something, or there was a situation came up where they needed to say something, I would jump in and finish the sentence. Like, this is my kid, let me handle it. If I wanted something done around the house, I was all dictator. Do what I say when I do it. They begin to speak and give me their voice about something. I cut them off. Do what I say. This is the wrong way to parent. You got to give your kids a voice. Yeah. My youngest son and the woman I'm with now, his mom gave me that tool in my tool belt. Talk. Let me hear what you got to say about what I just said. Of course, you want it to be respectful, but give your kids a voice when they're young. Then they may not scream at you when they're 20. If when they were 9 and they had something on their mind about you or something you just said, you allow them to get that shit off their chest respectfully.
It's the evolution.
But you allow them to talk.
It's the evolution of parenting.
That is.
I think that young parents, we are so helicopters. We're so all over. We're so scared. We're so nervous. We don't want them away from us too long. we get real nervous about our children.
Mm-hmm.
And you never stop worrying about your kids. I don't care how many kids you got. You never stop worrying if you're that kind of parent that cares. And I hope that everybody watching does.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what this platform is about caring about our Black children and empowering them.
There we go.
You know, and our children of any race. But, you know, we are melanated people.
Yes, sir.
You see the shirts. You see the podcast. Right? So we got to look out for ours, number one. Everybody else can fall in line as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as tools that we give our kids and our peoples, we have to look out for each other. The family unit is being under attack in our relationships and life.
From all different areas.
From all different angles.
Yes, sir.
From everything from cartoons to cops to don't get me started.
We were just talking about the cartoon, yeah.
So now here we are, sharing our wisdom with you.
Yep.
Hope you can take something from what we're talking about.
Yep. So keep in mind, right? The reason why I'm framing it this way, because I had incidences with my children where we didn't talk. My ego got the best of me. I had conversations with my teenage to adult children, and we went at each other. Same. Verbally. Mm-hmm. We were disrespectful to each other. Mm-hmm. And I took that. Now I see it. Now, of course, you want your kids to be respectful. Same thing. You're going to talk to them about how they should talk to their father or their mother, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I was very disrespectful. And damn near to a point, JB, my oldest son, me and him got into it. And I began to talk to this boy like he was a grown-ass man, like he was damn near my enemy.
Your ego allowed you to meet your son's energy.
My ego allowed me to meet his energy. And one of the points I wanted to make about this, what I didn't realize is he was the same person. He was the same 6-year-old who used to ask me questions to try to gain knowledge and get close to me. Just because he's 24, 23 with hair on his face and shit, out here living his life, that's still your baby, fathers. Don't allow the fact that he's becoming a man to make you treat him like a man at times where he needs empathy. He needs support. He's not going to address it the way he would when he was 11. And that's the thing, fathers, when your kids get older, the shit you didn't do that they didn't like when they were younger, if you didn't give them a voice to express what it was, they're going to let that out.
The planet is really geared to abuse people of certain races, ethnicities, certain skin tone. Mm-hmm. What we can do as fathers and parents is make sure that energy is disseminated and it's melted. So we can just love on our kids when we're around them. And we know when they get out there on the planet, in the world, it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be on them. Mm-hmm. But let's not add to that. You know what I mean?
Let's not add
to that energy. Just like as a Black man, if you're in a relationship and you want to come home to, a loving situation. Right?
Yeah, same thing.
So as kids need that parent to uplift them, give them that boost in their back.
Even when they are adults and they got hair on their face, they having sex, they appear to you as a man, they still need the same tutelage. It's like me and JB was talking about earlier. It's going to be different, though. Like, you got to make that transition, like I'm learning, from dictator to stern counselor. You know what I mean?
Evolution of parenting. I have seen, real close to me, my pops. He's really, really good with little kids, but the older they get, not so much when questions start to come up.
There we go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm one of those people that I feel like kids from 1 to 20, all of them need something different as they grow. Mm-hmm. And it's good to be able to morph into and change into what these kids need at that time, and be that friend and be that conduit, to be that light for them. To give them a guiding light.
Hey, cousin Bina, we didn't see you at the family reunion, man. We had a good time. Just a sidebar, y'all. My cousin Bina is in the comments. And like I was saying earlier, we had a family reunion yesterday, and she wasn't there. We got to talk, cousin.
Melina Bentley, where were you at?
Yeah.
I was on the grill all day. We didn't see you, Miss Bentley.
We had a real good time yesterday, cuz I'll hit you later and we'll talk about it. But that's the thing, family. So creating all these things when they're young, it makes it easier when they become adults. And now you want them to hear you out. You want them to hear your side of it, because like I mentioned, me and my 2 sons had a problem, and what fixed our problem, and I think the reason why our issue was easier to fix, it wasn't easy, but I think the reason why it was easier to fix, because JB kind of hit me to this earlier. I set the groundwork. I put in that sweat equity. I may have not been a perfect father when they was younger, but God damn it, I was there.
And you said you united. You had situations with 3 different women or whatever, but you kept the kids together.
So here's a funny story, and this is something I'm proud of, but at times it's pissed me off slightly. Like my 5 kids, I had 4 kids by the age of 22 by 2 different women. These kids would come to my house with the woman I'm with now for years. Me and the woman I'm with now, we didn't have our first child till 7 years into the relationship. So when we finally have our child, we are really dealing with a situation where the kids are coming over frequently. They're very comfortable in the house. We just 20-something-year-olds trying to parent these 4 kids, you know what I mean? But they always had a closeness. The first time my 4 kids came in my room, like they were in my room, but came to my bed, like bombarded my room, was when their brother was born. When their 5th brother was born, they bombarded the room. They cared so much about visualizing him and seeing him and being with him. And ever since then, I've made it a point to keep these kids together, even so much where I've had problems with certain children I have, like an older kid, and I'm talking to the younger one about my issue and how I can fix it, and they jump on the side of their brother. Like, that's important. Some of us fathers, if you having kids from different women, keep it in mind how I see it today. We need to try to avoid that. If you can do things where you meet a woman, y'all have a baby, but you focus on trying to keep that family together under the same roof, that's the best way to do it. But if that don't happen, if the kids ain't under the same roof for whatever reason, bring the kids together, family. My kids didn't even know what stepbrother meant. Didn't even know what half brother meant. Yeah, they got different moms, but they've never been raised like they got different mothers. They've always been around me, been around each other. So now they have a bond that can't be broken. So if unfortunately something happens to me, they'll always be cool. You see what I'm saying? They'll always be cool with each other. So that's something as fathers we got to think about.
We have to. Adult children go through a lot of stuff. I'm talking about myself as far as what my mom did to me. So one day as an adult child, I'm in my mom's vehicle and I start screaming at her and mad for whatever reason. It wasn't justified. I hit her dashboard. She pulled over on the freeway and kicked me out of her car. I had to walk, I don't know, maybe 3-4 miles to get back to her location. When I got there, I was very humbled and quiet. Mom said, "You learned your lesson about hitting my dashboard and being boisterous? I don't care how old you are. You're still my child. Don't have your ego kill the host."
That's where you got that from.
That's where I got it from. Your ego is trying to kill the host. And you're the host, and it's your ego. So get your ego under control.
Get your ego under control. Get your ego under control.
And I said, you know what? Thanks, Mom. I needed it. I needed that long walk to appreciate what I put you through.
But JB, and this is my opinion, family, you respected what your mom said.
I did.
You understood it and took that tutelage because she put in that sweat equity.
She did. No, 100%.
She was there all the time. 100%. You see? So okay, real shit, JB. Think about a father or a mother who ain't really been around their kid for whatever fucking reason.
Right.
But now you around them and they act in a slightly disrespectful manner. Do you think they can still take that same approach?
It depends on how disrespectful the child is. It depends on what the parents been through with their get down in life and their street acumen or how they feel about life.
True, but
because some people don't care if they kid or not. They lose it.
But what I'm saying is, I think a part of the reason why you respected what she did is because of the work she put in. See? So because she's been there, because as we was talking about earlier, and I'm talking about like instilling certain things in your young children so when they become men or young women, you still got their ear.
Yes.
I think it could be a slippery slope if you a father out there who, for whatever, we talk about fathers, your mom, that story was pertinent. We talk about fathers. If you weren't there for your kids, you live in a different state, you in the same state, but you haven't took the time to create a bond. But like I said, that bond is created through time spent being at your house with you. If you haven't created that, I personally think how you handle disrespect or how you handle them dismissing you should be a little bit different.
I agree with that. I do feel like to a point of when you send like, okay, so absentee fathers are not around their kids for whatever reason, whatever it may be. If you are the kind of father that still call and you try to send money and you're trying to make sure this kid, you're checking on his kid, but they don't call you back because they're probably in their feelings about you being absent for an elongated period of time. And now life to them feels like kind of like normal without you being a fixture in it. But the role you play is the bank.
Yeah.
So you're called and asked for financial things, but you're not given the respect of a father who is trying his best to be in his child's life. And all the child sees is that you weren't there, and for whatever reason. So us as fathers, we have to find out what that child needs from us and attack that want that they have, or that void that they have that we created, directly or indirectly. Yeah. Directly or indirectly, we got to attack that void and try to fill that void up with something. If the kid has to be accepting to this as fathers. The kid got to be accepting to this as fathers. We can't force anything. All we can do is be consistent, keep on calling and keep on checking and keep on checking, keep on calling.
But I think
we can't be used either.
But I think you should also be understanding to the fact that sometimes as Black people, you may have a child that don't live with you, that's somewhere else, and the environment they're raised in could be a goddamn jungle. So if I'm in the jungle, a voice telling me what I should do or how I should go about things, yeah, that's one thing, but I gotta hang up this phone and be in the goddamn jungle with you. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I think we should give kids a little bit of leeway when we haven't been there for whatever reason, with how they respond to us. Now, I think when is the
leeway? When do we give? You know what I'm saying? When do we say, okay, that's enough? As being abused as parents, because some of us men, we are severely abused on more than one angle. You know what I'm saying?
This is a good point.
And with the woman about what she wanted from the court. And the kids calling you still saying they want more.
But here's the thing. What I've learned, JB, the more and more, and that was a great goddamn question. The more and more that I was on the same page with the woman I had the kid with, it lent itself to me being on the same page with the kid, because now I got an advocate. Because, for an example, if you
we're on the same page.
If you're trying to call your kid, let them know you love them. I'm here for you, all this shit. That works. But what if they hang up the phone and tell their mama, which a boy's mama, he got a love for his mama that is unmatched. I learned this, right? What if he hang up the phone and tell his mama, yeah, I'm talking to my dad, I'm trying to figure it out. And the mama be like, he ain't shit. Well, if he loved you, he'd send you a little more money. If he loved you. So if the woman has a negative outlook on you and you're not present, that's gonna affect the child's psyche, because boys love their mama in a way that we can't even explain. So first I would tell fathers,
when you show up with that in that situation, you in an ancient Olympics.
Shit Olympics.
He gonna look at you like you ain't nothing. You ain't never been.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that something about you? I know about you. What are you here for?
See, so that's why I think
what you got from my mom.
You gotta get on a, if possible, because we shouldn't accept disrespect from a woman, from kids to a degree. But if possible, you gotta get on the right page with that woman. You gotta see what's going on with that. If possible, keep that part in mind. Sure. Get on the right page with that woman. Let's talk. Me and you get to a point where you trust that I am doing literally the best that I can. Trust is the key word, family. The woman, the kid, gotta trust you. If they don't, ain't none of this shit gonna work. Right. You see what I'm saying? So the woman gotta trust you. So then the woman, I learned this, the woman then will become your advocate. So if the kid gets off the phone with you and say, well, daddy, he gonna send money, but man, I wish he was here. He ain't shit. The woman gonna say, whoa. Your dad is trying his best. Your dad is doing the best that he can. This shit will change the trajectory of this entire conversation.
That's an advocate, not a family crusher.
If the woman is the advocate, not an adversary.
Not an adversary, family crusher.
You see?
There's male family crushers and female family crushers.
You see?
You know what I'm saying? You can be an advocate or a family crusher.
So you got to try to get on a good note with the mom, if possible. If not, then you got to keep working on the child. But I want to touch on that because some of the shit I'm talking about, like the structure, the quality time, instilling trust in them, all these things is easier if the child is right there in your presence. 100%. Because in my situation, I'm a strong believer in the fact that I had an issue with my kids, and this lasted 3 or 4 years, like too long, to be honest. I think the reason why we can come back, and when I spoke to him, I apologized, like sincerely. I didn't point no fingers. This is another thing fathers got to stop doing. I didn't focus on the woman. I didn't focus on shit that was going on in my life. I apologize for the wrongdoing because I've learned over time, man, look, we the leaders in the household. We're the guiders. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Let me ask you. So you apologize so
Yes.
you can reconcile the situation.
Yes.
How did you come to the point of being able to apologize?
Great
question.
Jimmy.
What did you do inside yourself to make you be able to apologize for your wrongs to your children?
Goddamn great question, JB. So first off, I have genuine people in my corner.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm kind of talking to you right now too. When I would talk to my partners about, hey, I told them like years ago, hey, I'm not talking to my son for whatever reason. My partners would see me, hey, what's up with your son? Y'all ain't talking? And I would give my little bullshit spiel. Yeah, I ain't talking to him. Talk to this fool on the phone. He was cussing at me, talking all this bullshit. This is my take. My homeboy Johnny B, my homeboy Johnny told me, man, look,
brother,
you know you the adult, right? You know you're the adult in the situation. And my little pride was like, ooh, I'm playing these games with my child when I'm supposed to be the one that's more logical. I'm supposed to be the one that create reason. So that happened. My woman, she would tell me about, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you shouldn't have said that. When after the conversation, she the first person that told me that was bad. Shouldn't have talked to your child like that. The people around me begin to tell me, hey, look, what you did could have been a little bit foul. And I have an ego, but I'm like stubborn, like to a high ass degree. I'm stubborn. Even their mother, I give their mom props. Their mom was like, she was going through something, but because of that provided clarity for her. And she was like, hey, try something with the kids. And me and her became advocates. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad you asked that question that way. You know, a lot of times too, male and female black folks that we allow our drama with our baby mom or baby fathers to bleed into our parenting.
That's what happened to me.
That's exactly happened to me. Drama with our baby mom or our baby father to bleed into our parenting. These kids is innocent in this situation.
The problems I was having with her,
work it out with ourselves.
The problems I was having with her bled because I was like, I'm gonna make her pay. I'm gonna make her regret talking to me like that. And I pulled some things back that was benefiting the kids. So they didn't see the conversation I had with them. They was like, wait, my cell phone off? This phone been on for you. Wait, my phone off? And she mad at me, no longer my advocate. She's like, yeah, he cut it off. Fuck him.
I'm punishing all though.
See? So I punished a group of people when I was mad at one person. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to come to my senses, swallow my pride. And some situations happened, and I had to talk to my kid. I had to talk to my kids. Yeah. So my older son, we had a conversation, and it was simple. I apologized. We talked about it, and we moved on. Mm-hmm. But I made sure he was aware that I was the wrong person here. In my situations, I made sure the women and the children knew, as the leader and the guider of this pack, I failed. My youngest son, he had to do some time. He was away for a minute. When me and him talked, it was extremely emotional. Like I'm looking at my baby in a cage, and he is a strong-minded, aggressive black young man. So he, like my other kids would have probably dealt with it differently. He's straightforward and aggressive. He wanted answers kind of in an aggressive manner. You see what I'm saying?
And he needed to be dealt with a certain way.
All day long.
All kids, some kids are bulls, some kids are poodles. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, JB.
Our personalities are very different. The month you're born, the moon you're born underneath, things make a little bit differents.
And you everybody have to parent your kids differently.
I have 3 siblings. We're all pretty different.
Yeah. So I had to humble myself, and I humbled myself in front of him. I'm sorry. Before I said, hi, how you doing? I love you. What you need? Any of this bullshit. I apologized in front of him, and he had questions about specific situations. Would let me know, fathers, kids are always watching. You may think they're 3 and 4 and 5, and you doing shit that they can't comprehend. But more so than listening to your words, they're watching your actions. So he had questions about shit I did. So I had to come clean with why this happened, why that happened. But the point I'm making is, fathers, don't let your ego get in the way of you parenting.
And your actions speak louder than your words.
All day long.
Ever will. That's
all
an
day
old
long.
saying. Ain't saying nothing new. But your actions, my father, will speak so much higher of you down the line than what you say.
You know what I mean?
Words are cheap. They're almost free. Actions cost. You had to go get in your car. You had to get some gas. You had to go pick the child up. You had to put effort in. Actions are heavy. Words are free.
And it's my opinion that our disagreement was able to get rectified sooner is because I put in the sweat equity. So my son, who's now free, he had to come and be here with me, right? But here's the caveat. Because of our history, this wasn't a foreign environment to him. He's been here as a kid. My woman I've been with 20-something years, she's been around this particular child since he was 2. Right. So I created a structure that helped me later on. But all fathers don't do this. No. So fathers, if you're in a situation right now where you're not talking to your son, for whatever reason, you're not talking to your daughter, fix that shit today. Don't think it's out of your control. Don't think the woman got so much control over your kids that they won't talk to you. That because I know fathers who will say, look, I'm not talking to my 22-year-old right now because his mama be on that bullshit. His mama putting shit in his mind. I'm here to tell you, fathers, a 22-year-old got their own mind.
100%. And then fathers and mothers, if you have any children that were taken from you, but outside of your control, please do your best to try to locate that child, get back in their life, because the whole side of your family that you have to offer will make the child's life so much better. And
ain't that something, JB? We was just talking about that because sometimes, fathers, sometimes you aren't in your kids' lives because maybe you feel I don't got money, I don't have a structured environment, I don't have whatever you think they may need. But look, as long as you're honest and you reflect on your faults in which you haven't done correctly, there's something your children can learn from you. Now, I get it, having nowhere to bring them. Like I'm living with somebody, or I'm homeless, or I'm living with this chick that I barely know. Come on now. All this kind of shit happen. Figure out a way. Figure out a way to go see him. Figure out a way to meet him in a park. Like where there's a will, there's a fucking way. And we got to be completely aware of that, because the bottom line is, too many of our young Black children do not have fathers in the home.
They're abandoned.
Too many of our young Black children don't have active fathers. Now, we know overall Black fathers are probably the most active when it comes to certain activities. But I think sometimes,
when we're there.
See, and sometimes I think speaking to our higher self is cool, but I want to speak to the guys who maybe ain't figured it out yet. Maybe you don't know your power as a man. Maybe you don't know, Black man, right now, you don't got no money. You don't got a car. You don't got a solid place to live, but you solid. Morally, you solid. Your integrity is in place. A kid can learn from that.
And I will also say, too, though, and you youngsters out here in these streets, like instead of having babies, go get you a dog or something like that. Take care of an animal for a while before you start having more children. Appreciate y'all, love y'all, but all this felonious sex in these streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm protecting these kids coming up. Like, we got to protect our sanity. It's so much happening on the planet right now as far as making sure that we finish last. Let's not have these kids be born way behind the 8 ball.
There we go.
Or in abject basement poverty.
Because poverty breeds crime, guys.
Come on, man.
Poverty breeds frustration.
Let somebody be hungry for a week.
So sometimes situations happen where shit just happened. This is life. I get it. But let's prepare. Preparation is the best way to approach situations to a degree. You see what I'm saying?
Proper preparation
beats poor performance, or something to that effect. But it's a fact. And the same thing needs to go for. That's why because I got 6 grandkids already. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of it because my sons are great fathers. They're active. Like the part of fatherhood I figured out, meaning I gotta be there regardless of what I'm on. Like I'm going through problems in my life. I'm going through job problems. I'm smoking, drinking, whatever, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna carve out time for my baby. So my sons figure that out. You see what I'm saying? But in general, we should be trying our best to have children under responsible means. As much preparation as possible. And too many of us don't do that. But fathers, if your kid was small and you were able to be a dictator in their life regarding what they need and what you want them to do, that's going to transition, man. They're going to be men one day. So figure out how to have that same type of compassionate relationship with an adult, because my vision got blurry because I was talking to a man who was being disrespectful, or sometimes just telling me what they didn't like. I remember when you did this, I didn't like it. I had to check my ego at the door and say, he's right.
And then another time, something else too, my brother, to think about for a second. You know, living check to check, we can't live our lives that way. Just because we get money every couple of weeks, we can't live our lives by the seat of our pants. So piss poor performance, proper preparation, will make sure a piss poor performance doesn't happen. The middle part I got wrong, but the
proper preparation equals piss poor performance.
No, proper preparation will make sure piss poor performance doesn't happen.
There we go.
See what I'm saying? So it is a way to say that, but y'all we get what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you have to grow as a man. Like your growth as a man. This is the one of the biggest problems in our community is boys are having kids. I repeat, children are conceiving more children.
Babies are having babies.
Babies are having babies. So the blind's literally leading the blind.
That was a song a long time ago too. That was a song a while back.
So how can we rectify this? As adults, we need to pour into our young people. Hey, get your life together. What do you want to do with your life? Follow your dreams. Too many young men start having sex and they go pussy crazy. That's all they want now. They start having sex, they start smoking weed, and these things become paramount. Now I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to trade school. I don't want to apply for this job. I don't want to do nothing worthwhile because I just discovered pussy. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that can lead to nothing to children. Now we need to realize something. And look, I love my black folks, but do you know who produce the most children in our community? Do you know who have, for the most part, who has the most children in our community? Broke people. People with nothing else to do.
Because they want to feel loved.
They want to feel loved. So I ain't got to go to work.
You have more children. Then their favorite time of the year, what time is it? Tax season. So they get them write-offs. Yeah. So they have all these children, so they can get the write-offs that time of the year. But in the meantime, this baby's barefoot, snotty nose, walking through Walmart in a full ass pamper. He got on some pants that's way too tight. They a year younger than he is.
Hair ain't combed, shoes off, yelling at people. All I'm thinking is, I'm thinking down the line to the young men who shoot people on sight, the young men who say, I want to be involved in this hood shit because at least they show me attention.
You niggas love me.
At least they tell me they love me and show me attention. Now the cycle has begun to repeat itself.
That's it.
So waiting to have children. So but this is, I don't put waiting to have, and this is some real shit, y'all. I don't care if nobody I don't like it. I don't put waiting to have children on a woman, because men, wearing a condom works. I don't know any homeboys. You can correct me. I don't have any homeboys that say, yeah, man, she pregnant, but I wore a condom. She pregnant, but I strapped up. That's rare. Most of the men I know get comfortable with a woman, and now it's raw dog season.
It's very rare.
You see what I'm saying?
It's very rare.
It's raw dog season. Now it's raw dog season, and you don't even know you're putting your dick on a grab table. Like I said in a few shows ago, this OG told me this, and it kind of fucked me up when I was younger. Boy, treat your dick like your social security number. Do you just give it out? Do you just walk in somewhere and start talking to a chick and say, while we talking, check out my social? Hell no. That's private. We know what can happen when someone gets that. Same with your sperm, fellas.
Playing Russian roulette with our dicks.
Man, we all are guilty of it. See? So yes, once this happened, you can change and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be the father my kid needs. But don't put yourself in this rush system where, okay, now I gotta grow up. Now I gotta become a man. Because I have a theory. Rarely do I think becoming a father makes you a man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely not.
I think you got to be on the way there.
You got to be
on the road to manhood, and then the father just being a father kind of escalates that. Now you start moving faster.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wasn't shit, if you didn't like working, if the hood took you under, if all these different things, a kid's not gonna make you say, you know what? I gotta change my life because you ain't changed you yet. Even some of my black women, I love y'all, but I didn't see black women have babies because you're lonely, because you're missing something. Because babies are so damn cute, right? They don't smell like nothing but the lotion, and the Jordans is $35. You know what I mean?
We have an affinity to small things.
That's
so
true.
So puppies, children, are the cuteness factor that does them to our brains, but these kids and these dogs are going to grow. So
especially the kids, because the dog will grow, but you can put him in a cage whenever you want. Nobody's going to say shit.
You get them trained up, whatever you want to do with the dog. But the kids, you need to be there for them.
You need to be there for them. And sometimes we thinking about the 2-year-old kid that smell good and don't say shit and look nice when we present them to people. But what about the 14-year-old?
That's very important.
Who needs to learn how to read? Mm-hmm. Who needs his mama and his daddy?
Did we handle everything on this show already?
One thing I want to talk to you about, just real quick before we go, and I think you touched on it because you spoke about like handling disrespect.
Yeah,
we spoke about it a little bit. But I want you to elaborate on that because I'm of the belief that if there's time apart from a kid, you're not around them. There wasn't a lot of tutelage when they were young. When they become an adult and they got that voice that you may not have given them when they were younger, they're going to say shit you don't like.
Personally, when you have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all.
You mean for a young person?
No, I'm saying like for a parent.
Yeah.
If a child comes at you real greasy and says some real bad stuff to you that just crushed your soul and hurt your heart, and you want to come back with a venomous fashion and roast their whole soul. That's
what I should have used, Jared.
And melt them. What you want to do is sit back and read that text message and digest those feelings that message is making you feel. Live in that. Understand why this kid is sending you this. Understand what your absence has done to this child.
Because look, real quick, JB is spitting some fire right now.
And don't respond in anger.
Because I wasn't as absent, but I got that text message, JB, and I said, ugh. You saying I should have calmed down?
I said,
phone
down. The phone down.
Phone
and
down.
I looked at it and read it, and I said, damn, this is crushing my spirit. But at the same time, this is the way he feels. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ghost. I'm gonna just go ghost. I'm gonna just fall on the face of the mat for a while. A little while later, a couple days later, call me. What's up? You wanna talk about what you texted me? He completely brushed over that. But that's fine. We're getting to a better place now in my mind. But being an absent father is something that is very
whoa. But Jared, that's something. Damn, and that was so powerful.
Unplug,
Jared.
bro.
Because it's not even about kids.
It came back to me.
It's an emotional responsibility thing.
Anybody.
You get information from somebody that you don't like,
and they want you
opposed to
meet them.
Us responding immediately because I got a mouth on me and I get to going in. I get to talking about all your shit you don't like.
Roast-a-thons over here.
You sit the phone down. You take a minute, go do something. Think about it. And men, this is how we got to respond. Look, I'm going to be the first to say, because my boy JB, just to put it out there, full clarification, he was raised in a 2-parent home. Issues and shit, but 2-parent home, none the fucking less. I was raised by just my mama. So sometimes I check myself because I find myself saying, damn, nigga, you responded how your mama would. Come on now, JB.
And then I responded how my daddy would.
See, because that's even in 2-parent homes are important, but sometimes we look past the fact that 2-parent homes have problems too.
Come on now.
There are things that the kid felt they didn't get, but that's the right start. Because to me, it'll be worse if it was 2 separate homes with those same problems. You know what I mean?
We're really feeling the shower now.
You know what I mean? Because I be going through things with my with my homie JB, and I don't know if I ever told him this, but how he responded to me, not like the full conversation, but his mannerisms are like, damn, you know what I mean? His mannerisms are stern. His mannerisms are, what's up? Now and I'm looking at that now. I know JB. Sometimes that can only happen from being around me.
Oh, absolutely. Very demonstrative. Very straight to the point. Very, let's end this right now. You know. We'll come back to this later. Put a pin in that. You know what I'm saying?
Where women, it's let's talk.
let's talk. And then sometimes for me, it's just like there's one word or one saying, it's already done.
It's already done.
I know what needs to happen. Let's go forward. What are we talking about?
See, so men, because me and JB was talking earlier, but before we end the show, and this has been a great show because fathers need to know, come back in your kid's life. Right. Yeah, some shit happened. The woman is tripping. If your kid is, I'm not going to listen to you if you say that woman's tripping. In America, there's courthouses in every city. If you get your shit together and go to that courthouse, I promise you they're going to hear you out. Now, because you a man, your stack of paperwork to fill out going to be that high instead of the woman's being like this or a phone call, but still, you got to jump in there. You see what I'm saying? Because what JB is, what he's shown me I got a couple other homeboys who had fathers in their life and in the home. And I say, damn, that's one of the keys to his secret sauce. There was a man right there. So fathers, don't let the mama, don't let your life, don't let your situation be put in front of the fact that your kids need you. Now, if you're dealing with a drug problem, if you're dealing with some kind of mental issue, you may not be safe to be around your kid. That's some different shit. Yeah. But most of us, if you just out here struggling, if you just out here bitter and mad because she chose to have a baby after you put a sperm in her, come on now. We got to correct these things, family. In my family reunion yesterday, just to bring everything back, my family reunion yesterday helped me realize this. Being in an environment with all 5 of my kids, and we have not been around each other for too long of a time, it made me think as a father, what the fuck was you doing? You're the leader of this pack of individuals with your last name, goddammit. Act like it. You feel me? Right. So all my fathers out there, let's act like the leaders we are, man. Yeah, that one may be tripping. Yeah, she may be acting like you can't see the kid right now. Use your power as a man, because at the end of the day, if you don't like what's going on in the streets, if you don't like how we conduct ourselves when it comes to hip hop, all the lower vibration shit that happens in Black America, especially with Black men, right. A lot of these Black men is dealing with not having a father. So we got to correct that.
You come to the website, y'all. Check us out.
PrecisionCreate.com is the website where you can get the gear. You can get specific shirts. We can customize it specifically for you. But I'm your brother Harrison. This is my brother JB. Follow me on Instagram at melanatedconvo100. JB, what's your Instagram?
I'm Born to Grub on Instagram, and you can find me at Jared Bourne on Facebook, y'all. And as well too, let's tell them about the PayPal and our Cash App if they want to.
Yeah, so something I never mentioned, man, I should. We do not get any funding for this show, of course. If you want to support the show, you can go to Cash App, Melanated Fathers 100. PayPal is paypal.me/Melanated Fathers, just to give to the family, just because this is something we're going to continue to do. And this show is for the community. You feel me? So Black businesses, the support of Black businesses are important. But family, go to my Instagram page, go to the website. I love y'all. We'll be back in a few days.
With the Cash App, my bro.
Yes.
Is that Cash App $ Melanated Fathers?
Yes, it is.
100 PayPal.
Yes.
Okay, y'all.
$ Melanated Fathers 100.
Y'all. Melanated Fathers 100. And then PayPal would be
PayPal.me / Melanated Fathers.
There you have it.
So support the movement. I'm your brother Harrison, JB, Melanated Convo.
Love y'all. Peace.
We out.